welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So potentially we did see Manchester United lose their first game under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tenure yesterday. Obviously before the game, we was 11 undefeated. So as it currently does stand now, we've played 12 under Solskjaer, won 10, drawn 1, and currently lost 1 in the process. So in the process, we've scored 28 goals. We've obviously, won 6 away from home. We've won 8 games Premier League as well, as I currently said. But obviously I still praise Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got us into the top 4, since the opening day of the season in the Premier League. And obviously when he came in, obviously we was sitting 11 points behind top 4 as well. So I still do think he's the right man, as I currently said. But I'm now really concerned in relation, to Jesse Lingard and Anthony Martial, because obviously yesterday they both came off in the first half, with injury, did Lingard and Martial. I think it explained in the media that currently Martial is some kind of muscular problem he's got, and Lingard is like a hamstring injury he's got as well. Reportedly they're going to be both accessed in the next couple of days, so we are hopeful that the injuries aren't too serious, as I said, because obviously we've got big games coming up, as I said, Chelsea in the FA Cup on Monday. Hopefully somewhere along the line we can progress in the FA Cup, as I said, and we want to get that top 4 this season so we can get in the Champions League for next season, because obviously now we've got a 2-goal deficit to turn around against Paris Saint-Germain at their stadium, which I very doubt very much that we are going to come back against Paris Saint-Germain. But in relation to Martial and Lingard, Martial I think is a muscular problem. Lingard is some kind of a hamstring injury he hasn't received as well. As I just said, they're going to be assessed in the next couple of days. So that is a bad blow, as I currently said, for us. Obviously Paul Pogba as well, did currently get sent off as well in the game yesterday. So it has currently confirmed in relation to Paul Pogba, he's going to miss the second leg against Paris Saint-Germain, because that's very disappointing, because Paul Pogba's been one of our best players, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has come in. He has rejuvenated the whole team, but Paul Pogba's been one of our best players, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. He's been getting the freedom to express himself. He's been full in that number 10 role, very good. He's been playing very well, just behind the centre forward as Paul Pogba. He's been giving good service to the front men. He's been scoring, he's been providing, he's been paying them delicate passes as well as Paul Pogba, and he has been giving good service, as I said, as Paul Pogba. As I said, his breaks to box have been very good indeed of Paul Pogba's, but he is going to be a big mission for the second leg against Paris Saint-Germain, as I said, and that's very disappointing, because he's been scoring goals, he's been providing, the timing of his runs have been absolutely phenomenal as well. So he's going to be a big miss, is Paul Pogba, as I said. But as I did currently say in relation to Jesse Lingard and Anthony Martial, obviously when they came off, just before half time, when they both got in, obviously, that currently killed the momentum of the team, because obviously the bags of pace, was out of the team, when them two came up, because obviously Martial's influential on that left-hand side. He gives pace, he scores, he provides, and same with Jesse Lingard, because I've been impressed with Jesse Lingard's progression, because he's obviously result the youth system with Manchester United, he's been at Manchester United the whole of his career, and I think his progression's, been very good as Jesse Lingard. So it was a shame to see Jesse Lingard come off, because Jesse Lingard's got pace on that right, Martial's got pace on the left-hand side, but obviously they both suffered an injury, as we all quickly know. So hopefully, they can, regain fitness, for the Chelsea game on Monday night, because we know them two players, how essential, they are to our team. But in relation, obviously, Mata came on for Anthony Martial. Alexis Sanchez came on for Jesse Lingard as well. But obviously, them two players, of course, are 30 years old. Mata's 30, Sanchez is 30. And for me, in relation to Mata, he's slow. So obviously, he was a lethargic replacement for them. Mata, who did Mata come on for now? I think it was Mata that came on for Martial. Yes, it was Mata that came on for Martial. But obviously, Mata is obviously a lethargic replacement. Even though I think he's been a very consistent player at Manchester United, Juan Mata. In relation to Juan Mata, I think he's very slow. Obviously, he's aging up. And obviously, he hasn't got that pace anymore, Juan Mata, as I said. So I do think he's lost a yard of pace. As I said, he's obviously a lot older than Martial as well, is Juan Mata. And in relation to Alexis Sanchez as well, he's lost a yard of pace. And obviously, Sanchez was very poor when he came on. And in relation to Alexis Sanchez. He's not the player, that he currently was at Arsenal. Alexis Sanchez, he's lost. There's definitely areas of his game he needs to adapt. He's lost a yard of pace, and he's enjoyed a very difficult time, since he's come to Manchester United, because he has been here just over a year. He has enjoyed a couple of injuries as well as Alexis Sanchez, but I think if his form can't be rejuvenated, I think he will likely leave Manchester United in the summer. Alexis Sanchez, because he's too slow. Juan Mata's too slow, and obviously when Martial and Lingard came off through injury, it knocks the total pace out of the team, as I currently said. But yesterday, as I currently said, Paul Pogba couldn't get that service. He was totally locked in that midfield, so Paul Pogba was basically not allowed to play because PSG, stopped him from playing because, he had players around him, Paul Pogba, as I said. But, I thought it was a very flat performance in Manchester United. We didn't see that fluidity in our attacking line, that we have been seeing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We haven't been seeing that free-flowing. We didn't see that free-flowing, attacking football, that we've been seeing under Solskjaer, especially in the Premier League. We didn't see that fluidity. We didn't see that motivation. We didn't see that momentum, as I currently said. We didn't see that motivation. We didn't see that momentum. We lacked that intensity, as I currently said. But we wasn't an attacking force yesterday. We wasn't an attacking force at all. We didn't show that attacking spirit, as I currently said, that we have been, showing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And obviously, this is going to be, something, we've got to learn a lesson from. As I currently said, I thought the first 5 minutes, we looked very lively in the game yesterday. But apart from that, we was very poor, as I currently said. And PSG totally took control. I thought in the first half it was a dull game. We were very tepid. I thought it was very tight and tense game in the first half, to be quite honest with you. I thought it was quite poor in the first half and both teams. Mbappe was very quiet in the first half. PSG obviously he looked very isolated in the first half, did Kylian Mbappe, and there wasn't many chances in the first half, to be quite honest with you. Also, I think in the game Angel Di Maria had a bottle thrown at him as well at some point in the game, because obviously I think Manchester United did have Angel Di Maria for one season. I thought it was all right, to be quite honest with you, Angel Di Maria, but obviously at the same time, he was obviously having a lot of problems, when he was at Manchester United, Angel Di Maria. But as I did currently say, it was a dominant performance from PSG. They won every second ball. They created chances. And as soon as they went 1-0 up, PSG, they just totally took control of the game. They were operating space. They were exploiting us far too easily. We were far too open, at the back as well. And PSG just basically, outnumbers us, especially, when they scored that first goal. Di Maria got 2 assists. Kim Pepe, scoring his first ever goal for Paris Saint-Germain. The first goal was from a set piece. It was from a Di Maria corner. Kim Pepe, knocked it in, at the far post from close range. It was a close range volley. My opinion, Matic should have done better with it. I think Matic did currently lose his man in the box. So really, that should have been defended, and to be quite honest with you. The second goal was absolutely, world class. You can't take it away from Mbappe. But as I did say, Bailly and Lindelof, blend, they look a very good partnership, Lindelof and Eric Bailly. I think they're blending very well together. They're building a bond together, as I currently said, and they are our 2 strong central defenders, as I said. And as I did say, they were going to have a task, going up the likes of Mbappe, because obviously we are aware of, we are aware of what Kylian Mbappe can do. He can score goals. He can run in behind, easily as well, can Mbappe. And his pace is just absolutely unbelievable. Is Kylian Mbappe's as well. But he did get his name on the score sheet. I think this is his 23rd goal this season for Paris Saint-Germain as well. But obviously going into the game, obviously Manchester United, of course, were the favourites, considering that obviously we know how much of a good team, Paris Saint-Germain are. Obviously, on paper, as it stands now, PSG are a better team than us. They've got a better squad than us, as we all know. But going into the game, they had key injuries. They had Neymar out. Obviously, they invested a lot of money on Neymar. He's the most expensive player in world football. I think they spent 200 million on Neymar. But obviously, he's out for a long period of time. I think with a foot injury or something like that. So he's going to miss the second leg. Is Neymar. Also, too, they had Thomas Meunier out. With a head injury as well, some kind of concussion. Edison Cavani was out with a hip injury as well. So PSG, did have injuries of their own, and we had that chance, to exploit that, as I currently said. But obviously, we saw Marco Verratti for PSG, make his 50th Champions League appearance yesterday, as I said. Kim Pepe, scored for them as well, as I did. That's his first ever goal for Paris Saint-Germain. Also, too, I thought Dani Alves. I think Dani Alves is a very, very good player, very good experienced fullback. Is Dani Alves. As I said, he was very, very good in his 8 or so years he had with Barcelona, and then he had a good couple of years with Juventus, and he's been very, very influential for Paris Saint-Germain, as I currently said. And Marco Verratti has just recently recovered from an ankle injury as well. I think reportedly supposed to be only playing 60 minutes of the game yesterday, Marco Verratti. I think Thomas Tuchel had confirmed, as I said. But it was a very, very poor performance of Manchester United. It's the worst performance I've seen so far under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We didn't see that intensity. We didn't see that heart. We didn't see that desire. We were struggling, to create chances, because I thought, PSG defensively, were very, very elite defensively. PSG, Pogba, couldn't provide that service. We couldn't get players into the box. There was a couple of moments in the game where we did thread a few crosses into the box, but the majority of them were wasteful. We couldn't pull the strings off in the midfield. But PSG, a team that can play really, really good football. They're good on the counter attack. With the likes of Kylian Mbappe. But we've got to accept it. PSG at this moment in time have got a better squad than us. They're a better team than us, and that's what we've got to expect. I expected Manchester United to win the game because obviously because PSG had quite a few of their key players out, as I currently said. But as I did say, it's just one of those things, and I think I doubt we're going to turn it around in the second leg. So I'm going to say now we are officially out of the Champions League. So what we've got to focus on is top four, and on succeeding in the FA Cup, as I currently said. But what concerns me is that Anthony Martial is out now with a muscular problem. Hopefully it's not too serious. As I said, they're going to be testing the next couple of days how the duo Martial and Jesse Lingard. I think Jesse Lingard is some kind of a hamstring injury he has suffered, but Jesse Lingard have been very, very impressed with his progression, especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in as well. He scores, he provides, he causes problems for fullbacks, so does to Anthony Martial as well. So hopefully it's not too serious, as I currently said. But as I did say, I do see players leaving Manchester United in the summer. I do see maybe 3 or 4 experienced players, leaving United in the summer. Obviously, we're still looking to hire a director of football to come in. Obviously, reportedly, we're going to get around a £200 million spending spree to spend in the summer. As I said, and we know for a long time, obviously, Pochettino has been, obviously, Ed Woodward's number one choice. But as reports were coming out of the media the other day, suggesting out that reportedly, it did say in the media that reportedly Solskjaer will be named the Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, because it did reportedly say that the Man United board it got revealed that the Man United board had currently made a decision over it. Obviously, we're going to have to pay an additional fee, to get him on a full-time basis. Obviously, we're going to pay this fee to Mould. I think it'll cost us around £7-8 million, to get Solskjaer on a full-time basis. Because obviously we've paid £1.8 million, obviously, to obviously get him on a temporary basis. As I currently said. But in relation, in the game, there was a lot of fouls committed in the game as well. There was a lot of bookings. I think we had a host of bookings. PSG, had a host of bookings as well. But PSG, deserved to currently win. David De Gea, had to pull some world-class saves off as well in the game, to deny Mbappe, to deny, quite a few other their players as well. But it is very, very disappointing, as I currently said. But we saw obviously Lukaku, come on later on in the game as well. A lot of United fans maybe think, Lukaku's finished at Manchester United because Lukaku is obviously very, very slow, and he's a very, very static player. He's Romelu Lukaku, too slow. He's well proven in the Premier League. He has scored a lot of goals in the Premier League, but everyone does have concerns about his first touch, as we all know. And as I did say, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, his form has been slightly rejuvenated. Where Romelu Lukaku's, but as I said, maybe a lot of United fans, want to see him leave Manchester United in the summer, because obviously we know mainly under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that the likes of Martial, Rashford and Lingard have obviously been first choice over the likes of Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez, because Lukaku and Sanchez are currently are fringe players, as I currently said. So hopefully, Martial and Lingard, can be fully fit, to feature against Chelsea. in the FA Cup, but we will know in the next couple of days, as I currently said. But as I did say, overall, I'm still very, very impressed, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, work he's done so far to Manchester United, because I still think the structure of the team's right. I think the cohesion of the team's right as well. He's got the team playing in the right vein, the right manner. We know we didn't see it yesterday against PSG, but overall, in all the games except PSG, you can see a difference in this Manchester United team. We're linking up well, we're scoring goals, we're creating chances, defenders are willing, to play out from the back. We have got good ball playing midfielders as well, as I currently said, but we didn't see that yesterday. But everyone has a bad game, now and then. Obviously, I still think Solskjaer, is the right man for the job at Manchester United, because he knows everything about the club, he knows the culture of the club, he knows the trappings of the club, because he was a great player for 11 years under Alex Ferguson. He's won trophies. Obviously, watched some of these players, grow and develop, when he was managing the Manchester United reserve team as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But I still think, he's the right man for Manchester United, and I still think, this squad has got everything, to re-emerge as a dominant force, to win trophies on a regular basis, like we did do under Alex Ferguson for 27 years. And as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I mentioned in the media, he concedes, basically, he admits and concedes that PSG are currently on another level to us, as he has currently admitted. But our objective this season is obviously to get in that top four. As I said, we're sitting in that top four at the moment, so hopefully we can pick ourselves up, look at get a reality check as well, and move on from this defeat against Paris Saint-Germain. And we are capable of going to Chelsea, and winning there, because Chelsea are in the best of form, as I currently said. As I currently said. As he has said, but the most play, I think the majority of the team, is playing very, very well, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. As I currently said, Nemanja Matic, I know he's very, very slow, and I do have strong reservations, about Nemanja Matic, but I still think he's improved. He was poor yesterday, he was at fault for the first goal of PSG's, but I think his distribution's improved, he's passing more, he's getting forward more, but we all know that he's very, very slow. I've been very, very impressed with Victor Lindelof. I think Victor Lindelof, has been playing very, very well as well. Victor Lindelof, I think defensively he's improved this season. He's getting forward more. His passing's improved as well. So I've been impressed with Lindelof this season, and I think him and Bay, look very, very good together. And I think that's the centre back. That's the centre back partnership. Solskjaer should mainly go with now, because obviously Victor Lindelof and Eric Bay are on a different level. To Chris Smalling and Phil Jones, as I currently said. I've also, Ander Herrera, I've been very, very impressed with him. I think Ander Herrera has been a very, very good, consistent player, since we got him in 2014 from Atletico Bilbao. He's good at going forward, he's good at breaking up the play, he's Ander Herrera, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can agree him a new contract at Manchester United, Ander Herrera, because we have been in talks of getting Ander Herrera a new deal at Manchester United as well. So hopefully somewhere along the line, we can get him a new deal as well. And I think he's complemented our midfield very, very well alongside Matic and Paul Pogba and all that as Ander Herrera. But I've still been very, very impressed with the team. It was a poor performance yesterday, as I currently said, against a very, very good PSG team. They've got some good young players. They've got some good experienced players as well of Paris Saint-Germain. So we move on and see if we can get out against Chelsea. And Chelsea's going to be a very, very big game. Liverpool in the league, is going to be a very, very big game for us as well. Obviously, obviously Smalling's just recently recovered from injury as well. We know Marcus Rojo, he's a player, that could leave Manchester United in the summer as well. Marcus Rojo, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, since he's come to Manchester United. To be quite honest with you, Marcus Rojo. Obviously Marcus Rojo struggled to get him on the games under his belt, because obviously he struggled with his fitness regime. He's had a lot of injuries, since he's come to Manchester United. So maybe he could leave in the summer as well, or could Marcus Rojo. But obviously it has confirmed that he has returned back to training as Marcus Rojo, but he's still not fully fit yet. As I said, he's good there as a backup option, and he's good, when he does get the chance to play. But he could be a player, that could leave in the summer as well. But definitely we need a strong central defender. We probably need a centre defensive mid that's fast and tenacious and quick, because obviously Matic is obviously too slow, as everyone's saying. We do need someone on that right hand side as well. So that right hand side, does need addressing, because I think the left hand side's okay, because the majority of our attack is coming from that left hand side, as I currently said. as I currently said as well. But in relation, to Antonio Valencia as well, he's another player I expect, to leave Manchester United in the summer, to be quite honest, because obviously Antonio Valencia's hardly played this season. Obviously, we know that Ashley Young has obviously been our first choice right back, and to be quite fair, I think Ashley Young maybe could go in the summer after obviously, recently signing a new 1 year contract extension. Do see Ashley Young maybe leaving in the summer, to be quite honest with you, because he's been a long serving at Manchester United. As I said, he has been here since 2011. I think he's made over 200 odd appearances in all competitions since he's been here. He's obviously won everything in English football, as well as Ashley Young. But I do think he's past it now, because he's 33 years of age now, is Ashley Young, as I currently said, and obviously he has been our first choice right back. Obviously when he was younger he was mainly right winger, but obviously we operate him as a right back, but he could still leave in the summer. And as I did say, in relation to Valencia, he's 33 now. There was strong speculation of him leaving in January. Obviously he's had quite a few injury problems. He's just recently suffered another injury, so he's out for a couple of weeks. Is Antonio Valencia, and he's been here since 2009. As Antonio Valencia, I think he's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. He's won everything here as a Manchester United player, as I currently said. But he's past it now because he's age 33. Is Antonio Valencia, as I said, so he could leave Manchester United in the summer as well. In relation to Matteo Darmian, who's just recently suffered another injury, so he's out for a couple of weeks as well. I do see him leaving in the summer as well. Obviously, Manchester United have activated a 1 year extension on his current deal, as it did confirm in January. So if the offers do come in the summer, we'll cash in for the player, rather than let him go on the free transfer. It did say Juventus and Inter Milan were interested in Darmian, throughout the course of the January transfer window. As it did say. But obviously Matteo Darmian's had a lot of experience of playing in Italy, when he was a lot younger in his prime, spent the majority of his playing career in Italy, did Matteo Darmian. But since he's come to Man United, he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, struggled to get into the team, as I currently said, so he could well leave in the summer as well. But my opinions won't change, after one bad game, I still think Solskjaer's the right man for the job. He doesn't rest on his laurels, he does show that inspiration, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said, and he's got the players to express themselves, get them enjoying playing football again. That's the worst performance I've seen, that PSG game under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but every other game has been pretty much very, very good, as I currently said. But it is disappointing, but PSG are a very, very good team, with good players, as I currently said. Solskjaer still believes that Manchester United can go over there and get 2 goals. He believes, but I can't see Paris Saint-Germain not scoring at their own stadium. And I think in all competitions this season, Paris Saint-Germain have currently scored, as I currently said. But yeah, we're very, very disappointed. We're just outnumbered. PSG, totally made us look bad average. They exploited us far too easily. We were operating space too easily. As I said, we're far too open. Especially when Martial and Lingard, came off through injury. The pace had been knocked out of the team. There was lack of intensity, as I currently said, and we didn't really create many chances. I thought the first 5 minutes, we looked a bit flared. We showed a bit of attacking flair, as I currently said, in the first 5 minutes. But apart from that, it all went currently downhill. As I currently said, I think there were talks that Kim Pepe, should have been sent off in the game as well. I didn't actually see that incident, but reportedly Kim Pepe should have been sent off as well in the game. But anyway, it's history now. We'll currently forget about that game, and we'll look forward to the Chelsea game on Monday night in the FA Cup 5th round, as I currently said. But obviously, there's a few players, we may go for in the summer, as I currently said, because we do need recruitment in the team, because we do expect experienced players to go. So we do want to recommend, some players, to come into Manchester United, because obviously, we didn't get any signings in January, as I said, which was disappointing as well. But I do expect, Manchester United to get some signings in the summer. Reportedly, we're going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer. But there has been a few potential targets, we have been interested in, as they have been keeping you up to date on. We know basically that Jadon Sancho, that current Borussia Dortmund winner, is 18 years of age. He's been mentioned in the media quite a few times, as well as Jadon Sancho. I do really, really like him, to be quite honest with you. Since he's been in the Borussia Dortmund first team, his performances have been very, very good. He's been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years now. He was in the reserve team before as well, Jadon Sancho. He's an England international. I think I'll give you an update about Jadon Sancho the other week. Obviously, if we are set to make a move for Jadon Sancho in the summer, obviously we know he won't come cheap. I think it did say Borussia Dortmund will recommend that they want around 90 million or 100 million pound for the player, which is staggering amounts of money, especially for a young player, as I said, Jadon Sancho. But obviously in the Dortmund team this season, he's been first choice as Jadon Sancho, Sancho on that wing, he's been first choice. Pulisic, as I said, obviously Christian Pulisic is obviously going to Chelsea. He's going to be a Chelsea player in the new season. Is Christian Pulisic, because Chelsea and Dortmund had come to an agreement on the £58 million fee. But in relation, to Jadon Sancho, he's a very, very good player. He's a winger. He's only 18 years of age. As I currently said, he's a player that can grow and develop, and it would be good for him, to come and experience the Premier League. Well, he has experienced the Premier League because he did spend a couple of years there with Manchester City. He never broke into the first team with Manchester City. Jadon Sancho. As I said, he also began his youth career with Watford. He was there a lot of years. At Watford was Jadon Sancho. As I said, I think he started playing for Watford at the age of 7. He was there a lot of years, and then he went to Manchester City, I think, at the age of 14. But he never got into the first team, as I said. But based on his fantastic performances, he's shown that Borussia Dortmund, he has won like the Bundesliga Player of the Month. Borussia Dortmund only paid £7-8 million for Jadon Sancho. I think he has got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. But as we all know, it won't come cheap. Jadon Sancho, won't come cheap, as I currently said. So it reportedly said Borussia Dortmund may want around 90-100 million pounds for him, as I said, and. And we know that Borussia Dortmund have done some business, with them players. We saw them sell Patrick Emerick Aubameyang off to Arsenal, who's done very, very good for Arsenal, since he's been there. As I did say, they sold Pulisic, they sold Ousmane Dembele, for around 105 or was it 106 million pounds to Barcelona as well. But we know basically, Jadon Sancho will not come cheap, as I currently said. But I think he has got that ability to attack. He's got that ability to score goals. He's got that ability to provide, as he has shown for Borussia Dortmund, to be quite fair, Jadon Sancho. But reports were coming out the other week saying that Man United, may make a move for Jadon Sancho in the summer as well. So he's been mentioned in the media as well. We know also that Tango Ndombele has been mentioned as well. It did say Manchester United had made inquiries, about maybe going for him in the summer as well. Only 22 years of age is Tango Ndombele. Only 22 years of age, as I currently said, is Tango Ndombele. He's a Lyon player. Obviously, Lyon had him on a 1-year loan. Lyon paid, £2 million, for his loan, and then made the deal permanent by paying around £8 million. I think in terms of wages, it was like 250,000, in bonuses or something like that, as it did mention. But reportedly, Manchester United reportedly have made contact with his representatives. It also said that Manchester City have also been interested in him as well, and it also said that Juventus have also been interested in him as well. Tango Ndombele. He's only 22 years of age, as I said, so he's very, very young in his prime. Reportedly, his performances for Lyon have been impressive, but we heard the rumours last summer, that a few teams had expressed their interest in Tango Ndombele, as I currently said. We know that also to Ryan Sessegnon has been mentioned in the last couple of days as well. Very, very young again. Only 18 years of age is Ryan Sessegnon, as we all currently know. Only young is Ryan Sessegnon. Reportedly, I heard the narrative about this last summer that reportedly Tottenham were interested in Ryan Sessegnon, but Fulham obviously are having a really, really bad season. They're sitting 19th in the table. Obviously got one of the worst defensive records in the Premier League this season as well. But Ryan Sessegnon's a very, very good influential player. He can operate anywhere on the left hand side. He can play as a left winger. He can play as a left back as well. Can Ryan Sessegnon? And obviously, he's only 18 years of age, as I said. Obviously, he's been at Fulham all his career. He risen up their youth system, for 8 years in Fulham's youth academy. Progressing up the ranks very, very well. And obviously, he's been in the senior squad, with Fulham since 2016. So I think this is his third season now with Fulham in the senior squad. But his progression's been very, very good. But since Claudio Ranieri, took charge of Fulham, he's found game time very, very difficult, and his performances, haven't been up to scratch with Ryan Sessegnon's, as I currently said. But Ryan Sessegnon is a very, very good player. He can forward. He has that ability to attack. He can pass the ball. He's a good runner of the ball as well as Ryan Sessegnon. But reportedly, it did say Manchester United may consider making a move in the summer. It did say Man United may plot around £50 million to get Ryan Sessegnon in the summer. And obviously, he's got 18 months left on his current deal with Fulham, as I said. Obviously, Fulham have been in talks, trying to sign him a new long-term contract, but reportedly the current contract have stalled at the moment. And based on his fantastic performances last season, Fulham, Ryan Sessegnon, I think he got awarded the Championship Player of the Year, based on his fantastic performances last season. And he was one of the key players, that got Fulham promotion to the Premier League, as I currently said. But I do really, really like Ryan Sessegnon. I've always, liked Ryan Sessegnon, as I said. But the left-hand side doesn't really need stressing. I think we're okay on the left-hand side. I think we need someone on the right. We need a strong central defender. As I currently said, we do need someone in that sense of defensive midfield, as well, as I do keep mentioning. As I do keep mentioning, as I said, but other targets, that have been mentioned in the press as well. I do want to give you an update on. We know that the other day in the press, as he updated you on that, Douglas Costa had also been mentioned in the media as well. The current Juventus winner. Obviously, this season he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time with Juventus as Douglas Costa. Obviously, since the arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo last summer, Douglas Costa has found game time very, very difficult. Obviously, Juventus got him last summer for around, 36 million pounds, or something like that. Well, obviously, Juventus had made the current deal permanent, because obviously Juventus had him on loan for one season, but then Juventus made the deal permanent last summer by paying around 36 million pounds for Douglas Costa, as I currently said. But his dribbling's good, he can put crosses into the box, he can score, he can provide, he's well experienced, he's 28 years of age, Douglas Costa, as I said, he's Brazilian. But reports coming out the other day saying that reportedly he'd like a Twitter post linking him with a summer move to Old Trafford. Obviously, we heard the narrative about this sometime last year. It did say reportedly Manchester United would interest him. It did say Man United put around the £54 million bidding for him, allegedly, but reportedly this had been turned down by Juventus. But Douglas Costa is a highly experienced player, mainly he's been good throughout his playing career. He was good when he was young in his prime, when he had 5 good years, where we Shakhtar Donetsk. He won trophies there. He had a good couple of years, when he was at Munich as well, in Germany, did Douglas Costa, and in his first season, on his loan, with Juventus, he was very, very good as well, was Douglas Costa. But reports have been coming out saying that Manchester United, could make a move for Douglas Costa in the summer. But I think he has got good physical attributes. He has operated as an attacking midfielder before, as well, Douglas Costa, but he is mainly a winner, as I said. So will Manchester United, go for him in the summer as well? We know that another player, that Manchester United, may go for in the summer as well, as I do keep mentioning, that Benfica youngster, that 19-year-old Felix, as I do keep currently mentioning to you guys on a regular basis. Felix, as we all know, I think he's got a buyout clause of around a staggering £105 million. It did say, a narrative came out about this throughout the course of the January window, that quite a few teams were interested in Felix. It did allegedly say that Liverpool had around a £61 million bid turned down for the player, but Manchester United instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on the player, because reportedly, since he's broke into the Benfica first team, obviously he only broke into the first team last year, as we all know, but since he's broke into the first team, reportedly his performances have been very, very good. Felix, he's mainly a winner, but he can, operate in other positions as well, so he's versatile, is his player. But he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, as I said, Felix, but reportedly his buyout clause is around £105 million as a player. I think he used to play for Porto, in Porto's youth system as well, if I am right. Did the player as well. Did the player as well, so his name has been mentioned in the media as well. But we know the major priority target for the summer is obviously, that Napoli defender Koulibaly, as I do keep mentioning to you on a regular basis. And Koulibaly, as we all know, he'd be a great leader in a great leader in our defensive line, alongside Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly, because obviously Eric Bailly has got great potential. But in relation to Koulibaly, he adapts every area of his game very, very well. He's very quick, he's very tenacious, he's good in the air, he's very, very tall as well, which is very, very beneficial. Obviously, we've been linked to him for the past couple of windows. We were linked to him last summer. Obviously, we were linked to him throughout the course of the January transfer window. Manchester United had obviously held negotiations about it as well. But reportedly, Napoli, were standing firm. They were being ruthless, and they weren't willing to sanction him off. in the January transfer window, as I said. But in the process, Manchester United, of course, had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly. Obviously, the most recent one was a staggering £95 million. But it's more than likely that we are going to revive our interest in Koulibaly in the summer, as I currently said. And I think it will cost us in the region of around at least under £90 million at least, to get him in the summer. But I think he's unhappy at Napoli. He's been in Italy a number of years now. His progression, has been absolutely fantastic, as I currently said, as Koulibaly's. He's still got a contract with Napoli until 2023, as I said, as the player as well. And Napoli only paid £7 million for Genk, but he did suffer racial abuse, back in December on Boxing Day, did Koulibaly as well. And this may be one of the majority of the reasons, why he does want to leave Napoli, as I said. But he would be a great major signing for us, if we did currently get him, in the summer transfer window, as I said. But I think he is the number one priority target, we are going to go for in the summer, as I currently said. As I currently said, and we know that other names have been mentioned as well, and I am a big fan of Harry Maguire as well, from Leicester, because obviously we was obviously linked with Harry Maguire last summer as well, that current Leicester central defender, and I think his performances and his progression this season for Leicester, have been very, I think his performances for Leicester this season have been very good. Harry Maguire's last September, I think he did sign a new 5-year deal with Leicester, did Harry Maguire. I think he's on around £75,000 a week. That's his current salary he's earning per week as a player. But obviously we've got the finances if we did get him in, to currently double his current wages. Harry Maguire. But as I did say, it did say Man United willing to him last summer. I think he's reportedly rated at around £60 million. He's Premier League proven, of course, as well. But obviously, he did actually say in the press the other day that reportedly Harry Maguire did say that he did want to play in Champions League football. Did Harry Maguire, and obviously he may want to elevate to that higher level. Play for much bigger club. Harry Maguire. So will Manchester United, go for him in the summer as well? Will Manchester United go for him in the summer as well? And there's been other players we've been linked to. We know that Toby Alderweireld got mentioned last summer. We know that Eddie Militao also got mentioned back in the January transfer window as well. He got mentioned that Eddie Militao, only 20 years of age, as I currently said. So we've been linked with a host of players, as I currently said. But obviously we've got to get some new additions into the club in the summer. That's very important indeed. Maybe Phil Jones and Chris Smalling may go next season as well, even though Jones just recently signed a new 4-year deal with an option of a further year, because Phil Jones, I don't really rate him, to be quite honest with you, Phil Jones, he's obviously injury prone, he's known for injuries, he's Phil Jones, and he's been here since, 2011, when we got him from Blackburn Rovers, Phil Jones, but I don't rate him. And Chris Smalling obviously signed a new deal earlier on this season as well, and I don't really rate him now, to be quite honest with you. He's okay, but I don't really strongly rate him anymore. Obviously, he's been at Manchester United a good, 9 years now. We got him in 2010 from Fulham, Chris Smalling. Obviously, he's won everything here, of course, in English football as well. Chris Smalling, so too, obviously, as Phil Jones as well. But yeah, I do see, players leaving Manchester United in the summer, as I currently said. So yeah, we'll see what happens. As I currently said, we'll be doing some more live videos very soon. We'll be doing some more live videos very soon. So anyway, drop your comments, like, below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing, always, and take care. God bless, guys. See you all again very